Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with a simple truth. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Excellence isn't found in a single act, a breakthrough moment, or a dramatic overnight change. No, excellence is quiet. It's built in the shadows of your routine. It's found in what you choose to do when nobody's watching. You see, the secret isn't in doing extraordinary things. It's in doing ordinary things extraordinarily well, day in and day out. If you wait for motivation, you'll be waiting a long time. If you depend on inspiration, you'll be a slave to your mood. But if you build discipline, you'll own your day. And if you can own your day, you can own your life. Every day gives you a fresh chance to practice excellence, not perfection excellence. There's a difference. Perfection paralyzes. Excellence liberates. Excellence is simply doing the best you can, with what you have, from where you are consistently. The question isn't whether you're capable. The real question is, are you willing to rise a bit earlier, willing to plan before you act, willing to read instead of scroll, willing to choose growth over comfort? You don't need a new year to change your life. You need a Tuesday. A quiet, uneventful Tuesday where you decide that you're no longer going to wait for a miracle. You're going to become the miracle by mastering your habits, your mindset, and your hours. You see, success is rented, not owned, and the rent is due every day. So start small, but stay steady. Improve 1% a day, and in time, you'll be unrecognizable. In the best way. The art of daily excellence isn't glamorous, but it is transformational. The life you want is hidden in the days you're tempted to waste. Don't trade what you want most for what's easy now. Make your bed with purpose. Speak with intention. Show up early. Stay a little longer. Study a little deeper. Give more than you take. Master your day. And watch your life rise to meet it. Thank you. Most people think success comes from a breakthrough moment. A big opportunity, a lucky break, or some flash of genius. But in truth, success is far more predictable and far less dramatic. It doesn't come in waves of inspiration. It comes in the daily repetition of simple disciplines. You don't suddenly wake up one day and find yourself fit, wealthy, wise, or deeply fulfilled. These outcomes are the result of small, consistent actions practiced day after day, often without applause or recognition. Think of your life as a garden. You don't plant seeds and expect fruit the next morning. You water, you weed, you nurture every day. It's the same with success. The seeds are your habits, the disciplines you practice regularly. The watering is your consistency, and the harvest, that's excellence, wealth, health, or whatever form of success you're aiming for. But the moment you stop watering the garden, the weeds take over. It's that simple. The reason most people don't reach their goals isn't because they're not capable. It's because they don't stick to the daily practices long enough to see the results. They try something for a few days, maybe a few weeks, and when the results don't come quickly, they quit. What they don't realize is that progress is happening, just not at a speed that feels exciting. But make no mistake, daily effort compounds. Every time you read a few pages, go for that walk, say no to a distraction, or follow through on a plan, you're making a deposit into your future. You're casting a vote for the person you want to become. It's easy to underestimate the power of small things done daily. That's because they are so simple, they feel insignificant. One dough, it won't ruin your health, just as one salad won't make you fit. One missed workout doesn't seem like a big deal. But when that just once becomes a habit, it defines the direction of your life. The same is true on the other side. One small win, one focused hour, one day of intentional action. These are the building blocks of a meaningful life. Daily disciplines work because they don't rely on emotion. You don't have to feel inspired to do 5 push-ups. You don't have to be in a great mood to write 1 page, or to take a cold shower, or to wake up on time. These actions are small enough that they can be repeated regardless of how you feel. And that's exactly why they're so powerful. Over time, these tiny choices reshape who you are. They develop resilience, character, and momentum. People are often searching for hacks or shortcuts, but the truth is, the shortest path to success is the long way, through the consistent, sometimes boring, practice of doing the right things over and over. If you can get yourself to commit to the small disciplines and stay with them when they're no longer exciting, you'll be far ahead of those chasing the next big thing. Daily excellence is built, not bought. It's built through your habits, your decisions, and your follow-through. What you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while. Motivation is a powerful feeling. It's that spark that makes you want to start something new, set a goal, or change your life. But anyone who's relied on motivation alone knows it doesn't last. One day you're fired up, ready to take on the world. The next day you're tired, distracted, or just not in the mood. That's the problem with motivation. It's emotional, and emotions are unpredictable. If you only act when you feel motivated, your progress will always be inconsistent. You'll have good days, but you'll also have a lot of wasted ones. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't care how you feel. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, regardless of your mood. It's about keeping the promises you made to yourself long after the excitement has worn off. Discipline is steady, reliable, and far more valuable than any burst of short-term inspiration. When motivation fades, and at will, discipline steps in to carry you forward. People often wait for the perfect moment to act. They wait for clarity, for energy, for the right mood. But those who achieve real excellence understand something crucial. Waiting is a trap. The most successful people don't wait to feel like doing something. They act, and the feeling often follows. That's the difference. They've trained themselves to move, regardless of how inspired or uninspired they feel. They don't let emotions dictate their habits. Instead, they let their habits shape their emotions. Think about a musician practicing scales, an athlete training drills, or a writer sitting down to write each day. These aren't glamorous tasks. There's no cheering crowd. There's no instant gratification. But they do it anyway, because they understand that progress depends on consistency, and consistency depends on discipline. Discipline builds trust in yourself. It tells your mind, I do what I say I'll do. That kind of internal integrity becomes a powerful force over time. There's also a quiet confidence that comes from discipline. When you know you've done the work, even when no one was watching, you walk differently, you speak differently, you carry a deeper sense of self-respect. You're not chasing external praise because you know you've earned something internal. That's the kind of confidence that doesn't crumble when things get tough. Motivation can start a journey, but it's discipline that finishes it. It's not exciting, but it's effective. It shows up every morning, whether you feel like it or not. And the more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. Discipline is a skill, not a personality trait. You don't have to be born with it. You build it by showing up again and again. The truth is, there will be days when you don't want to show up, when everything in you says to skip it, to delay, to justify an excuse. That's where growth happens. That moment, when you act despite how you feel, is where real strength is formed. Anyone can do the right thing when it's easy. Discipline is doing the right thing when it's hard. In the end, if you want to live a life of consistent growth, you can't be a servant to your emotions. You must be led by your principles, guided by your goals, and anchored by your habits. Discipline will take you where motivation cannot. Excellence is often misunderstood. People think it means being the best, outperforming everyone else, or reaching some flawless standard. But that's not what excellence really is. Excellence isn't about perfection, it's about intention. It's about doing the things you already do, no matter how small, with care, attention, and pride. It's about choosing to give your best, even when the task doesn't seem important. And most importantly, it's about doing this consistently. We live in a world obsessed with highlights, the big wins, the major accomplishments, the public victories. But what really shapes a life of excellence is what happens in the background, the ordinary moments, the things that most people overlook or rush through. It's how you answer the phone. It's how you organize your day. It's how you respond when no one is watching. That's where your standard is built. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Excellence doesn't require you to be perfect. In fact, chasing perfection can be paralyzing. Perfection says, it must be flawless or it's worthless. But excellence says, let me give this my full attention. Let me do this to the best of my ability today. That mindset frees you to take action, to keep learning, and to improve over time. It removes the pressure to get it all right at once and replaces it with a steady commitment to doing things well. Every day is filled with opportunities to practice excellence, not in grand gestures, but in the small choices you make. Taking a few extra seconds to tidy up your workspace, writing an email with clarity and thoughtfulness, showing up on time, not just because someone's watching, but because it reflects your own standards. These moments may seem minor, but they compound, and over time, they create a powerful reputation, not just with others, but with yourself. When you train yourself to approach every task with excellence, you begin to feel a shift. You feel more grounded, more capable, and more focused. You stop cutting corners. You stop just trying to get by, and instead, you start to live with a sense of purpose. It becomes less about the outcome and more about the process. You start to enjoy giving your best effort, not because you have to, but because it becomes who you are. You don't need talent to be excellent. You don't need the best tools or the perfect conditions. What you need is a decision to raise your standard for how you approach your work, your conversations, your time, and your commitments. That decision, repeated daily, transforms everything. Not immediately, but inevitably. Excellence, when practiced in the small things, builds momentum. It carries over from one area of your life to another. The discipline you apply to your fitness begins to influence your focus at work. The care you put into your relationships improves your communication. It's all connected. Excellence isn't something you turn on and off. It becomes part of your identity. When you stop chasing perfection and start practicing excellence, you give yourself permission to grow. You remove the fear of failure and replace it with the courage to try, to improve, and to stay consistent. And in doing so, you build something stronger than skill. You build character. Ordinary days are often overlooked. They don't come with fireworks, dramatic changes, or big headlines. They come quietly, dressed in routine. But it's in these simple, seemingly unremarkable days that your future is being written. The truth is, most people waste their ordinary days waiting for extraordinary ones. They think change will come with the new year, the new job, the big opportunity. But life isn't changed in those rare, exciting moments. It's shaped in the daily ones, the moments you think don't matter. Every day offers choices. You can hit snooze or rise early. You can scroll mindlessly or read a few pages. You can react impulsively or respond with intention. These choices seem small in the moment, but they add up. Day by day, they compound into your habits, your mindset, and ultimately, your results. You don't become excellent in a day. You become excellent by choosing to make the most of your days, especially the boring, uneventful ones. The magic is not in the event, it's in the process. The person who builds discipline on an ordinary Tuesday will be better prepared for the storm that arrives on a future Thursday. The person who plans their day, shows up consistently, and does what they said they'd do, even when no one is checking, is quietly building a life of strength. It may not be flashy. It may not feel urgent, but it's real, and over time it changes everything. People often say they want more out of life, more success, more freedom, more peace. But the real question is, what are you doing with the 24 hours you already have? The calendar won't give you excellence, your habits will. That means taking ownership of your time, your attention, and your energy. Not once a year, but every single day. And not just when life feels exciting, but when it feels slow, dull, or repetitive. What makes daily excellence so powerful is its subtlety. There's no applause for making your bed, journaling your thoughts, or taking a walk instead of watching TV. No one's cheering when you choose to focus instead of procrastinate. But that's the test. Can you be consistent without external validation? Can you stay loyal to your goals when no one's looking? Because if you can, you're already ahead of most people. The difference between average and excellent isn't talent, it's intention. It's what you do with today, this ordinary day. Not next week, not when things are easier, not when motivation returns. Just today. Excellence isn't built on luck. It's built on commitment. Commitment to values, commitment to routine, commitment to doing small things well. Don't underestimate the impact of showing up for your own life today. Don't wait for circumstances to align perfectly. Life rarely hands you a perfect setup. What it gives you instead is a chance to make the most of your time, a chance to bring presence to your actions, a chance to become someone reliable, focused, and grounded in purpose. If you treat your ordinary days with care, your future won't be ordinary. Your days will shape your direction, and direction, more than speed, determines your destiny. The life you want isn't found in a far-off dream. It's built quietly in the hours you're living right now. Success is often misunderstood as something you achieve once and then keep forever. But in reality, success doesn't work like that. It's not a trophy you win and then store on a shelf. It's more like rent, due every single day. And the way you pay that rent is through your habits. Not once in a while, not when it's convenient, but every day, especially when it's hard. The idea that success is rented daily shifts everything. It means you can't rely on yesterday's effort to carry you through today. You have to keep showing up, keep working, keep earning it. Your habits are the rent you pay. Every action you take is either a payment toward the life you want or a withdrawal from it. If you want excellence in your life, you need to build routines that support it. It's not about big wins or overnight changes. It's about what you do consistently, day after day. That means the way you start your morning, the way you speak to others, how you use your time, how you take care of your body, and how you show up to your work. These are not separate pieces of your life. They are the very structure of it. The challenge is that daily rent doesn't always give instant rewards. Some days you'll show up, give your best, and see no visible return. That's when many people quit. But the ones who keep going, who trust the process, understand something crucial. The results are delayed, but never denied. If your habits are solid, the results will come. It's just a matter of time and repetition. The rent you pay now secures the success you'll enjoy later. The most powerful thing about habits is that they remove the need for constant decision-making. When excellence becomes a habit, it's no longer a debate. You don't ask yourself if you feel like going for that walk, or reading that chapter, or planning your day. You just do it. It's automatic. That's what separates high achievers from those who struggle. The successful have trained themselves to act on principle, not preference. They've built systems that support their goals and stick to them, especially when motivation runs dry. Consistency beats intensity. Anyone can work hard for a day. Most people can push themselves for a week, but very few can stick with it month after month, year after year. That's what paying the rent really looks like. It's not glamorous. It's not dramatic. It's steady and it's quiet, but it works. And over time, it produces results so strong that people will call them lucky, without realizing the rent that was paid day after day to earn them. The rent never stops being due. There's no coasting, no cruising. The moment you stop putting in the work, the decline begins. It may not be obvious at first, but it's happening. That's why habits matter so much. They keep you moving forward, even when you're not feeling your best. They hold you up when everything else feels uncertain. And they remind you that excellence is not a destination. It's a decision made daily, paid for in full through action. Certainly, here's a powerful conclusion and closing thank you note for your speech, Mastering the Art of Daily Excellence, written in the same motivational and practical style. So, as we come to the end of this message, remember this simple truth. Your life won't rise to the level of your goals. It will fall to the level of your daily habits. The art of daily excellence isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about choosing discipline over distraction, effort over excuse, and progress over perfection. Every day is a fresh canvas. What you put on it may seem small in the moment, but over time, those brushstrokes become your masterpiece. The person you become is shaped not by what you do once in a while, but by what you do consistently. Ordinary actions done with extraordinary focus are what lead to extraordinary results. Don't wait for the right mood, the perfect moment, or the applause of others. Just show up. Show up for your goals. Show up for your values. Show up for your life. Excellence is not something you chase. It's something you choose, one small action at a time. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your presence today. I hope these words serve as a reminder of the power you already hold. The power to build, shape, and lead your life with purpose. Let's not just aim for success. Let's live with excellence, daily, intentionally, and with great pride. Take care, stay consistent, and as always, thank you.